What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode here, Bears Focus Podcast. And we are returning after the NFL draft. Bears done, everybody's done, right? Picks are in. And the Bears did pretty decent. Let's be honest, they did okay, right? Nothing that well, let's just get into it, right? So 7 picks, and we'll go down our list of picks and then give some thoughts on each of the picks as well. So, first round, pick 25, they went safety, Dylan Thieneman, right out of Oregon. And honestly, I think this was a great pick. The number 2 safety on the board, in my opinion. Some people argue. I think majority of people think he was clear cut number 2 safety to Downs, who went to the Cowboys at 11. But this is a great pickup for the Bears, right? Dylan Thieneman plays fast, all right? He has great vision on the field. He has a great get off, right? To get to the ball, to make the tackles, to make a play on the ball. The kid is going to be great. And putting him next to Bryant, I think that the safeties will be back there flying around, right? Making plays in that backfield, and they're going to cause some havoc. This is going to be a really great piece for Dennis Allen to be able to move him around on the field, right? Put him at a linebacker spot sometime, bring him, close up to that line of scrimmage to be able to make some plays in the backfield or everywhere on the field, man. The kid was great. Seeing him in Oregon and the things that he was able to do there at that safety position, I think this is a great pickup for the Bears. This is probably one of the best draft picks they've had in years outside of Caleb Williams. This is going to be great for them, man. Super excited to see him back there, to see him as our new starting safety opposite Bryant, right? We got a new safety tandem back there now. So it'll be very interesting to see what they can do together. But man, I think this was a really great pickup. And this is something that hopefully now our safety spot, they're going to be secure for the next 4 to 8, 10 years, right? With Bryant and now with Thieneman there. This is great news for the Bears. That was a great draft pick. I don't think they really could have done any better outside of maybe moving up and drafting somebody. So stand pat, stand true to what they believe as far as their principles with Poles and Ben Johnson and everybody else there with the team. They did their thing with that, man. So pick number 2. All right, second round, pick number 25. They went offense and they went and got the best center in the draft in Logan Jones. Now, obviously, some Bears fans were like, oh, why would we draft a center? I've seen some of the stuff online, but guys, we literally just lost our center, our big money center, to retirement. We needed somebody else in there. So to go and get the best college center this year in the draft in the second round, pick 25, another great pick for the team. This is going to be great, right? I think he's 25 years old himself, or going to be 25 years old. So he's a little bit on the older side. 4-year starter there at Iowa, right? Last season, no pressures allowed, no sacks allowed. This dude is going to be great as our center, hopefully, right? We'll see what happens. But seeing some of the tape, seeing some of the film on him from Iowa, I think this kid is going to be a dog. Now, obviously, we know we brought in Bradbury, right? I think that he's going to be the starter this year, right? He's experienced. He kind of knows what it takes in the league. Hey, let Jones sit for the year. Let him get ready. And then next year, all right, he's going to take over. He's going to be our starter. And there we go. We got our offensive line rolling and cooking, man. So hopefully he turns out well. Hopefully all these draft picks turn out well. So I don't have to keep saying that, but hopefully they all turn out well, man, and become something that, one, will be great for them as players for their careers, and then two, for the city, as for us as fans, players that help the team win, that we love to see out there on the field, man. So definitely looking forward to that. Now, moving on to round 3 here. And I think round 3, these 2 round 3 picks at 5 and 25 were the ones that for me at least, for sure, were the most questionable in trying to figure out what's the ideas here, right? Obviously, I'm not in the building, so these are just questions and things that we have. Round 3, pick number 5, and I think they moved up here. They picked Sam Roush, a tight end out of Stanford. Now he's a big boy, 7, right? At that tight end spot. Didn't catch a lot of passes, right? But as everybody's been saying, and I think Ryan Poles said it as well in the interview, with how much 12 and 13 personnel and 2 and 3 tight ends they put on the field, they needed another guy. I think Durham Smythe, the guy that had the role that I suspect Roush will be taking this season, is gone. So he's going to be our third tight end now behind Loveland and behind Komet. Hey, let's see what he can do, right? If he's good out there catching the ball while he's blocking as well, hey, maybe we do eventually see a trade of Cole Komet like people have been talking about. I don't understand why I wouldn't trade Komet, but hey, we'll see how things go there. But to me, this was questionable. I think that we definitely needed more help on the defense. We know the defense was terrible last season. And to go and get a third tight end at the third round, that I don't really like that. There could have been something that they could have done there, in my belief. Hey, move up, you know, try and go get somebody. But they didn't do that. They got the tight end. So we'll see what happens there. It seems like this is definitely a Ben Johnson pick, somebody that he wanted. Maybe they couldn't trade out of the spot or go and get anybody impactful. From all reports and from what Courtney Cronin is saying, it seems like the Bears just didn't love anybody too much defensively in the draft, which outside of Veneman, obviously, but which is crazy. There are a lot of good defensive players here in this draft, and I believe that the Bears had some opportunities to move up. Maybe the cost of moving up just wasn't something that they were willing to stomach. But hey, who knows, right? We just got to see what happens with the team moving forward. But in the drafts previously that Ryan Poles has done, round 3 has been where he has completely missed. So let's see if that trend continues or if he starts to get away from that with these picks. So that's Sam Roush. Hopefully things work out for him. But round 3, pick 25, they went offense again. LSU wide receiver Xavier Thomas. Now, I saw on YouTube John Gruden talking great about him, how he's a kind of sleeper pick in this draft. The dude ran a 4.2 40, super fast, right? He can fly. And it seems like that's what the Bears are kind of going to use him as, right? As that guy to return punts, return kicks, kind of jumpstart our special teams and see what we can do there. And if he can pick up on the offense, right? Pick up on the playbook, learn the plays, maybe he could even end up being our third string receiver. We don't have DJ Moore anymore. He's been traded to Buffalo. So now sitting at the top of the depth chart, we got Roma Dunze, Luther Burden. Outside of that, it's very questionable. So let's see what happens there, right? We definitely do need that receiver help. I think that you know, it'll be something to see, man. I don't really have too much expectation, to be honest. I didn't see much of the kid at LSU, see much of what he did, but LSU's produced some decent receivers over the years, right? Jamar Chase being one of them, currently in the league. Justin Jefferson, another one. Will Xavier Thomas be a similar player? Probably not, but we can hope that he will do some good things. We definitely hope that he does do some big things here in Chicago, whether that's as wide receiver 3 or he's just our special teams returner. So, round 4, pick 24. I think they traded up in with this one as well. But they got Malik Muhammad, cornerback out of Texas. Now, they definitely did need some defensive back help, all right? They lost Nashawn Wright. to the Jets. How much of a loss you could really say that is depends on how much you weigh his actual coverage skill versus the turnovers he was able to get, right? So currently, I'm sure that the team is looking at the defense as, hey, we're going to get healthier. We're going to improve just based on that. Jalen Johnson missed most of the season with injury. Kyler Gordon, most of the season with injury. Tariq Stevenson had some trouble in there as well, where towards the end of the season, you kind of start seeing him on the field for whatever reasons there. But it seems like now our top three guys, we're just hoping on them to be healthy. I think Malik Muhammad coming in, and obviously it's still a little bit questionable with Tariq Stevenson. He requested a trade. He obviously hasn't been traded. It doesn't look like the Bears are going to trade him. So what's going to happen with him, right? Will he still be on the team? I would hope so, right? Keep our top three corners from the previous season and let's go get this guy some reps, in the nickel, in the slot. Hey, we'll see what happens once they start to practice, the rookies start to come into the building. But this may be a guy that Dennis Allen really likes as well. 6 feet, looks like he's long, plays fast as well. He could be another piece that they can move all around the field. He does play inside and outside. So this could be another really good piece that we picked up. And hey, let's see how it turns out, man. I think that that'll be a really big help. We did need defensive back help anyway. So it was good that they were able to get somebody else in that draft outside of Thieneman there. So next, round 5, Keyshawn Elliott. We needed linebackers as well. TJ Edwards, he's probably going to miss most of the, if not all of this season with that injury that he suffered last season in the playoffs there. What's his name? Edmonds, Tremaine Edmonds. He's gone now, right? New York now. So we needed some linebacker help. Devin Bush, yeah, we signed him. Speedy, fast guy, right? We've got DeMarco Jackson, all right? We'll see what happens there. And we brought back a fan favorite, right? And Jack Sanborn. So I don't know, man. Again, this was one that, once we start getting into the later rounds, I'm not studying too deep like that, right? And a lot of people aren't. Once we start getting into the weeds of it, 5th, 6th, 7th round and whatnot. But hey, from reports, another guy that fits into what the Bears are looking for, speed. It's a little bit of scary to me. I'll get in why. Just looking for speed. But hey, as far as on the defensive end, they needed that to keep up with the teams in our division, right? The Lions and how fast their offense is, the Packers and how fast they are, the Vikings. So we needed more speed on the defensive end. So I understand why they went that way. Again, hopefully things work out there. And then the final pick for the draft, they traded their 2 7th-round picks to move up into the 6th round and draft Jordan Vandenberg, defensive tackle out of Georgia Tech. I think this guy's an Australian also. So they went and they got a defensive lineman, right, way in the 6th round. But hey, we'll see what he can be. He's a 6th-round pick. Will he make the team? Will he just be a depth piece? So we'll see how that goes. But hey, hopefully things work out for the new incoming Chicago Bears draft class, man. But big question here, man. Did Ryan Poles do enough? And I want to say yes, just because I think that these were some really good picks, especially the first 2 rounds, right? Getting a safety. We lost our 2 starting safeties from last season, all right? Getting a center, we lost our starting center from last season. So with those first 2 picks, I definitely think that he did really good. But once we got into that 3rd, 4th round and we still hadn't taken a defensive end or anything, it's like, man, we know that the defensive line was a major issue last season. And to just not at all touch it, I can't really say he did enough. All right. Now, my thinking on what they're going to say about the defensive line is, well, we're getting back so many pieces that were hurt last year. We're hoping to have Booker for a full season and Odingbo and Turner and all these guys and get everybody back healthy. And that's going to be like a whole new defensive line. But the problem with that is that in the 8 or 9 games that Dio Odingbo played, he had what, one or half a sack or one sack? Almost no tackles, no tackles for loss. He didn't do anything. He was basically a non-factor. And I know they talked about, well, yeah, we started moving him inside and he started having a little more progress and effectiveness. And we signed him to get sacks. He's supposed to be the guy that gets to the quarterback. That's why we gave him that deal, Poles. What's happening? I don't know. I don't think enough was done. If I'm being honest, I just don't think that we did enough, especially on the defensive line. Linebackers. Hopefully that's improved and more secure now, right? Safety, our defensive backs. I think that with health, that's definitely going to be secure. Kyler Gordon, Jalen Johnson coming back healthy, right? We got Bryant back there, Thieneman back there now, Tariq Stevenson on the other side. I think that our defensive backs will be good. Much, much, much improved to last season. I'm still worried about our defensive line. Now, we got Montez Sweat, right? You pencil him in for double-digit sacks, right, this season again. But who's going to help him? Excuse me. We're hoping that Booker becomes that help for him, right? Becomes the opposite, right? Becomes the guy that can play opposite, get to the quarterback as well, so that most of the attention is not on Sweat, where he's getting the double teams and he's getting all the chips and he's getting all that attention. Hey, Booker, come out early, come out swinging. Now teams got to watch for you. Now Sweat can be freed up a little bit more, and we got an actual attack on both sides. So all in all, man, I don't think enough was done specifically just to the defensive line, but I do like the direction that things are going. They're building the team, the, you know, some smart ways. Safety, center. We got our right tackle. We got hopefully a center for the future now. If we can find a left tackle, we're hoping it's Ozzie. We'll see what happens there. Braxton Jones is probably going to be our starter this season. But I don't know, man. The draft definitely was good. It was an overall very entertaining draft. The first round, I think specifically was great. I think that it was a lot of figuring out where players were going to go. It was a lot of movement, and a lot of teams truly did improve. So I'm looking forward to the season starting, man. I'm looking forward to seeing the Bears hit the practice field, seeing what we got, seeing how things start to shape up with the team this season. We are definitely in for an exciting year, man. So thank y'all for tuning in. Let me know y'all thoughts below, what you think about this draft. Did Poles do enough? Did the Bears hit the marks? Did they hit where they needed to? Man, it's going to be a good year, man. It's going to be a good one. So drop that like, drop that comment. Don't forget to subscribe, man. This has been the Bears Focus Podcast. Until next time, bear down.